Have you ever wondered why, when money finally arrives in your life, something inside you contracts? Why, at the exact moment abundance approaches, you feel a tension in your chest, a strange urgency to spend it all quickly, as if having more were dangerous? This channel aims to help you on your journey. Sign up now to enjoy everything we have to offer. They hide this from you your entire life. Your subconscious is secretly rejecting abundance. And it's not because you don't deserve it. It's not because you don't work hard enough. It's because there's a hidden mechanism, an internal protection system that was programmed to keep you away from what you desire most. Right now, as you listen to these words, your body already knows if this is true. You can feel the recognition spreading through your chest, a sensation of, finally someone is talking about this. Because you've lived this dozens of times, money arrives and mysteriously disappears. The opportunity shows up, and you sabotage without realizing it. Success knocks on the door, and you find a way to not be home. If this lands in your chest like a quiet truth, subscribe now and stay close to the hidden voice, so the next message arrives exactly when your life calls for it. Today you're going to discover not only why this happens, but most importantly how to reprogram this internal system that has been blocking your abundance in the name of your safety. You'll understand that your self-sabotage isn't a character flaw, it's a protection function that can be updated when you understand how it really works. Prepare to see your relationship with money in a completely new way. Prepare to discover what they hide from you about the hidden power of your own subconscious. And most importantly, prepare to finally allow the abundance you deserve to find a permanent home in your life. Because the time has come to stop rejecting what you most desire, and start receiving what has always been yours by right. If this lands in your chest like a quiet truth, subscribe now and stay close to the hidden voice, so the next message arrives exactly when your life calls for it. Part 1. Hook estendido, empatia profunda and reframe sagrado. You can feel it in your body before your mind forms the thought. The moment abundance leans toward you, something tightens. Your breath gets shallow like you're walking into a cold room. Your jaw sets. Your shoulders rise a fraction. It's almost imperceptible, but your nervous system notices first. They hide this from you. Your subconscious is secretly rejecting abundance, not out of malice, not out of failure, but as a precise act of protection it learned long ago. Think of the last time money arrived unexpectedly. A refund. A new client. A raise. Notice the microstorm, a spike of energy, then the urge to move the money immediately away. Pay all the bills at once, buy something to celebrate, or donate in a rush so the number doesn't sit there staring back at you. It felt urgent, didn't it? Not because you are careless or impulsive, but because holding more lit up an alarm your mind couldn't hear, but your body did. This is the unspoken pattern. Abundance approaches, your body braces, your choices tilt slightly against receiving, and the opportunity slides just out of reach. You call it bad timing, not meant to be, or, I guess I blew it. But under the storyline is a beautifully consistent system running on a single mandate. Stay close to what feels familiar. If scarcity felt like home, abundance feels like a foreign country. Your passport hasn't been stamped yet. Of course the guard at the gate says not yet. This is not your weakness. This is fidelity. Loyalty to a nervous system that kept you alive by mapping safety to what repeated most. Perhaps you grew up where money arrived and disappeared in the same weekend. Perhaps success drew criticism or envy. Perhaps every time you asked for more, you were told to be grateful for less. The body recorded every event. And the body remembers. Place one hand over your heart and one over your belly. Close your eyes. Inhale to the count of 4. Exhale to the count of 6. Do this 3 times. Now ask, softly, is it safe to receive a little more? Don't think the answer. Feel for it. The yes might be a warm spread in your chest, a subtle drop of your shoulders, a longer breath. The no might be a throat squeeze, a stomach flip, a micro lean away. This is the language your subconscious understands. Sensation before sentence, breath before belief. The reframe, your self-sabotage is not self-hatred. It's self-protection. Your system is a brilliant guardian prioritizing familiarity over fantasy, regulation over rhetoric. When abundance feels unsafe, your body steers you away with exquisite micro-choices. You forget to follow up, you underprice, you pick the client who will delay paying, you postpone the application until the window closes. It's not laziness. It's the guard doing its job. This changes everything. Because the work stops being force abundance to happen and becomes teach the body that abundance is safe. Consent replaces conquest. Calibration replaces hustle. Safety replaces shame. Imagine your life as a house. For years, you tried to force the front door open with bigger affirmations, stronger plans, louder willpower. But the house wasn't refusing you. The thermostat was set to the past. Cold air blasts any time the room warms. You're shivering and blaming the door. The real switch is on the wall of your nervous system. Quiet, unglamorous, decisive. When you turn that dial, the entire house begins to hold warmth. You don't have to stand at the door all day. The room keeps what you bring into it. Consider 3 everyday scenes. The invoice: you finish a project. The work is good. It's time to send the invoice. Your fingers hover over the keyboard and suddenly your brain remembers a dozen tiny fixes. You spend 2 hours polishing what was already complete, then feel too tired to send the invoice today. Tomorrow becomes next week. You call it perfectionism. Your body calls it stall until the threat passes. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Whisper, it's safe to be paid on time. Press send with a soft jaw, not a clenched one. The compliment someone says, that was incredible. You're gifted. You laugh it off, redirect the praise, or immediately repay the kindness with an over-the-top compliment back. You didn't receive, you traded. Trades are safe because nothing lingers. Receiving is intimate, something stays with you. Try this. Pause. Place a breath between their words and your reply. Thank you. I'm letting that land. Feel the weight of it for 2 seconds. That is abundance, in micro. Practice holding it. The bank app: you open your account and your chest compresses like a hand slowly closing. You scroll as if scrolling will change the digits. Your eyes dart to upcoming charges to pre-experience the hit. Survival rehearses pain to prepare for it. Abundance trains presence to regulate it. Try this. Look at the number and widen your peripheral vision. See the edges of the screen, the desk, the light on the wall. Inhale gently. Say, this is information, not an emergency. Close the app without counterbalancing the sensation with a purchase. That is how your body learns. Numbers can sit. These are not small acts. These are rewiring events. Each time you receive without bracing, hold without dumping, or pause without numbing, your nervous system files a new definition under home. Home is not scarcity. Home is enoughness. And enoughness can hold more. There is one more secret hidden in plain sight. Abundance doesn't rush you. Scarcity rushes you. Scarcity makes you sprint in the store, overwork in the project, over-explain in the meeting, overgive in the friendship. Abundance slows the breath and refines the choice. The next time urgency spikes when money enters or an opportunity appears, ask, is this urgency true, or is this my old thermostat blasting cold? If it's the thermostat, lower the fan. The door will open itself. Remember, your subconscious does not respond to orders, it responds to environments. The question is not, how do I force my life to change? The question is, what environment teaches my body that more is safe? Build that environment inside your breath, your calendar, your inbox, your conversations, your evening rituals. The life will follow the climate. Now that your body has been seen and the guard has been honored, the hidden voice will reveal the precise mechanics underneath this rejection. Why the subconscious equates more with risk, and how we convert that risk into regulation. This is the forbidden chapter you were never given. Not how to chant abundance, but how to consent to it. Part 2. A Revelação Oculta. Porque o subconsciente rejeita abundancia. They hide this from you. Abundance isn't a prize to win, it's a signal to stabilize. When the signal of more enters a system calibrated to just enough or never enough, your subconscious acts like a precise immune response. Identify, isolate, expel. Not because it hates you, but because it loves your survival map more than your conscious goals. If abundance has not been encoded as safe, the guard at the gate will keep turning it away with impeccable timing and invisible hands. Think of safety as the master key. Not positive thinking. Not shiny strategy. Safety. The human system will always privilege what feels safe over what looks smart. If having more historically led to punishment, isolation, envy, loss, exploitation, or over-responsibility, then more equals threat. And when your body perceives threat, three things predictably happen. The breath narrows. Shallow breathing primes quick action, not deep receiving. Perception tunnels. You stop noticing supportive options and fixate on familiar exits. Behavior regresses. You reach for old self-soothing rituals that bring you back to baseline, even if those rituals drain your future. This is why money that lands often gets moved instantly. Why opportunities that appear suddenly feel not aligned without a coherent reason. Why praise slides off like water on oiled glass. Your system is executing a flawless safety plan. Reduce exposure to too much, too fast, too soon. Let's name the silent contracts your subconscious may have signed. If I have more, they'll want more from me. If I shine, they'll try to dim me. If I'm visible, I can't make mistakes. If I'm wealthy, I become what I resented. If I receive, I owe. And owing is dangerous. If I hold money, I'll have to hold boundaries. Boundaries used to cost me love. Each contract was rational once. Each is expensive now. Your conscious mind says, I want abundance. Your subconscious replies, not at that price. So it pays with procrastination, undercharging, last-minute changes, choosing the client who can't pay, or spending to restore the old familiar sensation of just enough. In that moment, your system exhales. Not because the choice was wise, but because the temperature returned to home. There is a deeper layer still. Under safety sits identity. A self-concept cannot easily hold a reality that contradicts it. If the story of who you are includes hard worker, self-sacrificer, underdog, miracle on the brink, or the one who makes do, then wealth feels like an identity error. The subconscious is the keeper of continuity. It will reject any input that threatens the story that has kept you coherent, even if that story hurts. Better a familiar ache than an unfamiliar freedom. Freedom requires a new story. Stories require mourning the old ones. Notice also how your system uses visibility as a proxy threat. Being seen is receiving. Receiving attention is receiving value. If attention has ever been unsafe, too much, too little, too conditional, then money, which increases visibility, becomes radioactive. You don't just fear the number, you fear the gaze that might come with it. So you stay near the number that lets you pass under other people's radar. The subconscious whispers, we can survive invisibility. Here's the secret architecture few ever map. Your life is built at the intersection of 4 layers: state, story, structure, and signal. State, your moment-to-moment physiology, breath, tension, heart rhythm. Story, your meaning-making scripts, what more means about you and your world. Structure, your calendars, offers, pricing, boundaries, routines, the scaffolding that either stabilizes or scrambles your signal. Signal, the ambient coherence you broadcast when state, story, and structure align. Change collapses when you try to alter signal with story alone. You tell a new story, I am abundant, while your state is braced and your structures leak. The field reads the combined broadcast, not the caption. A braced body with a leaky structure will always send the older signal, no matter how beautiful the words. The work is integrative. Breathe the new story into a regulated body, then embed it in stable structures. That is how a signal becomes believable to you, and therefore receivable by life. Let's walk through common patterns your subconscious runs to reject abundance, and the honest function each serves. Chronic underpricing keeps you from being resourced enough to say no. Function: avoid conflict and boundary setting. Over-delivery: earn safety by buying approval with labor. Function: substitute praise for pay. Last-minute sabotage: restore familiar crisis chemistry. Function: return to the known adrenaline-soothed identity of rescuer or survivor. Compulsive giving: discharge the discomfort of holding by ejecting value quickly. Function: prove goodness to outrun guilt. Perfect timing: delays. Spiritualize avoidance as discernment. Function: avoid the exposure of committing. None of these label you flawed. They label you faithful to an older ecology. We are going to update the ecology. There's a myth that must die for abundance to live in you. The myth of instant identity transplant. You don't snap your fingers and become someone who easily holds wealth. You become that person in layered microconsents that your body can believe. Every time you choose to hold a compliment for 2 breaths longer, you are running a tiny but profound identity update. I am someone who can receive and remain regulated. Enough microconsents and the macro identity arrives not as a performance, but as a homecoming. Let's bring in a sober illumination from wisdom often attributed to Jung. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This line is not a scolding, it's a map. Fate, in this context, is just the orchestration of your unexamined safety plan. When you bring warm light to the plan, not with contempt, but with gratitude, the plan loosens. The guard at the gate doesn't get fired, the guard gets retrained. And here's the paradox that will save you years. Your subconscious doesn't upgrade by being convinced, it upgrades by being convinced safely. Safety is felt, not argued. That is why your new reality will not begin with a windfall. It will begin with breath. With $10 you do not move. With an email you send without apologizing. With a boundary you state without a 700-word preface. With a minute you add between hearing praise and deflecting it. These are not symbolic gestures. They are neurological proofs. There's also the matter of pace. Scarcity lives on rush. Abundance lives on rhythm. Rush says, if I don't grab it now, it will disappear. Rhythm says, what is aligned will return in forms and times that match my capacity. When you slow the moment of receiving, 1 extra breath before yes, 1 extra day before signing, you are teaching your system that time is an ally, not a predator. Abundance requires this trust. Without it, every opportunity is either clutched or dropped. With it, your hands become steady. Let's talk about emotional set points. Many of us grew up in homes where a baseline of low-grade stress was the soundtrack. That tension becomes the sound of home. Peace feels eerie. Plenty feels suspicious. Calm feels like the silence before a storm. So when life quiets, you poke it. You stir conflict. You overspend. You take on too much. Anything to restore the music your body recognizes. We are not going to shame that impulse. We are going to retune the ear. The new baseline must be introduced in small, repeatable doses, calm in minutes, plenty in pockets, gratitude in sips, until your nervous system sighs. Ah, this too is home. One more hidden gear, belonging. If the groups you love coded wealth as betrayal, then abundance threatens exile. Your body chooses tribe over treasure. Again, intelligently. The antidote is not to argue with your people in your head. It is to surround yourself with even 2 or 3 witnesses who can celebrate your growth without demanding you shrink. Witnesses rewire belonging. When your expansion is mirrored back as normal, your subconscious relaxes its grip on the brakes. Belonging changes faster in warm rooms than in lonely arguments. Synthesize this into one sentence you can carry. My system does not reject abundance, it rejects unsafety. Therefore my first job is to make abundance safe. Physiologically, narratively, structurally, so the signal I broadcast becomes coherent enough for reality to recognize and return. How does that safety take shape in practice? Through protocols, not platitudes. Through environment, not just intention. Through repetition, not performance. In the next part, the hidden voice will place specific tools in your hands. Breath patterns that downshift alarm, money practices that raise your holding capacity, visibility micro-exposures that unpair being seen from being harmed, boundary scripts that protect your energy without closing your heart, and structural changes that seal the leaks in your vessel. We will teach the guard new procedures. We will set a new thermostat. We will stabilize the signal so that when abundance knocks, your body opens the door and says, "You're right on time." Scarcity and abundance mindsets shape success by shifting perception, physiology, and daily behavior, which in turn alter results over time. A scarcity mindset narrows attention, triggers protective habits, delay, underpricing, overgiving, and broadcasts a signal of not enough, while an abundance mindset widens perception, stabilizes the nervous system, and supports consistent actions that compound into better opportunities and outcomes. What each mindset does to attention scarcity compresses focus onto immediate threats, making long-term opportunities feel risky or invisible. This leads to short-term relief choices, e.g., spending to discharge tension or avoiding visibility, which keep results small and cyclical. Abundance expands attention to possibilities and patterns, making it easier to notice aligned offers and hold resources without panic, so timing and follow-through improve naturally. How they change physiology and signal. Scarcity increases stress arousal, shallow breathing, muscle tension, which the body associates with unsafe, so it subconsciously rejects growth chances to restore familiar baseline. This looks like forgetting to follow up, missing windows, or self-sabotage that feels like bad luck. Abundance correlates with regulated breath and steadier pacing, which your system reads as safe. The calmer signal aligns thoughts, words, and actions, so opportunities are more likely to be received and held rather than rushed or dropped. Behavioral patterns that reinforce outcomes. Scarcity patterns. Underpricing to avoid conflict, over-delivering to buy approval, delaying invoices, deflecting compliments, and dumping money quickly because holding it feels unsafe. These behaviors keep results at a familiar floor despite effort. Abundance patterns. Clear pricing, timely invoicing, receiving praise without deflection, incremental visibility, and intentional holding of funds. These behaviors increase perceived value, reliability, and capacity, attracting better opportunities and compounding gains. Identity and safety loops. Scarcity ties worth to struggle, the underdog identity, so ease feels suspicious and gets unconsciously sabotaged to preserve self-coherence. The system prefers the known discomfort to unfamiliar freedom. Abundance reframes receiving as safe and responsible, allowing identity to update through small, repeatable, micro-consents, e.g., holding a compliment for 2 breaths, raising a safe to hold amount gradually, which stabilizes a new baseline of results. Practical shifts to move from scarcity to abundance. Regulate first. Practice 4 to 6 breathing, inhale 4, exhale 6, before money tasks so the body doesn't flag them as threats. This increases follow-through and reduces avoidance. Safe number protocol. Keep a modest, untouchable amount, e.g., $50 to $500, and practice feeling neutral while holding it, then raise incrementally. This builds capacity to retain resources without panic spend cycles. Visibility micro-exposures. Share one small win or accept one testimonial daily to unpair being seen from danger, making aligned opportunities easier to accept. Bottom line, success is less about willing abundance and more about training safety around receiving and holding it. When the system feels safe, attention opens, choices improve, and results scale from stability rather than stress reactivity. Part 3, the empowerment and the tools. Retraining the guard, stabilizing the signal. They hid this from you. Receiving isn't a mindset flip, it's a nervous system skill. You won't out-argue a braced body, you'll befriend it and upgrade its map. These protocols are simple, sensory, and cumulative. Each one teaches your subconscious that abundance is safe to receive and safe to hold. Safety first, strategy second. Rhythm over rush. Protocol 1, the Receiving Recalibration, 10 minutes daily. Purpose. Shift from bracing to permission so the body stops rejecting what the mind asks for. Posture. Sit with your lower back supported, feet grounded, hands relaxed on your thighs. Imagine your seat as a weighted bowl, steady and warm. Breath cadence. Inhale 4, exhale 6. Keep the exhale slightly longer than the inhale to cue down regulation. Keep the breath quiet, as if not to disturb a sleeping child. Temperature visualization. Picture a honey gold warmth pooling low in the belly, spreading slowly to the heart, then to the throat. If heat spikes, dial it back to warm cup between palms. Sensation labeling, name what's present: tight, flutter, spacious, cool, tingle, soft. Labeling converts unknown to known. Known is safer. Micro-consent mantra. Whisper, it's safe to receive a little more. Not everything. A little. Wait for a somatic yes, a jaw softening, a shoulder drop, a longer exhale. Stop at the first yes. The body trusts you when you stop where it says yes. Closure. Press your palms together, feel warmth, say, thank you for protecting me. You can relax. I'm here. Why it works. The subconscious speaks sensation, not slogans. You're teaching the language it understands so it stops throwing up the reject signal when more arrives. Point 1. Transcript. Your quantum weight has finally reached its breaking point. Txt +1 Protocol 2. The safe number method, capacity to hold, purpose. Train your system to keep resources without panic dumping. Choose your current safe to hold amount. Maybe $50, $200, or $500. Place it in a separate account or an envelope. Each day, look at it for 60 seconds. Breathe 4 to 6. Repeat, it's safe to hold this. Practice neutrality, no rush to spend, no urge to hide. When neutral is easy for 5 consecutive days, raise the amount by 10 to 20%. If alarm spikes, lower it until neutrality returns. Protocol 3. The Invoice Calm. Replace avoidance with rhythm. Purpose. End the almost sent it loop that rejects abundance at the last inch. Before invoicing, do 2 minutes of 4 to 6 breathing with soft eyes and relaxed jaw. Write or open the invoice. Read it once at normal pace. If you feel the urge to edit endlessly, name it Stall Protector. Speak aloud, it's safe to be paid for value delivered. Press send. Immediately stand, shake your hands gently, then place one hand on your sternum. Inhale 4, exhale 6 for 30 seconds. Protocol 4, the compliment hold, receiving without trading. Purpose. Replace praise deflection with embodied receiving. When someone compliments you, pause 1 beat. Inhale gently. Say, thank you. I'm letting that land. Notice where it lands. Chest warmth, soft eyes, unclenched hands. Breathe there for 2 seconds. Do not repay immediately. Let the compliment remain with you like sunlight on skin. Protocol 5, visibility micro-exposures, safe to be seen. Purpose. Unpair visibility from danger so opportunities don't feel radioactive. Day 1 to 7. Share one honest sentence publicly or to a trusted circle. Day 8 to 14. Post one small win or a client appreciation with consent. Day 15 to 21. Publish one helpful tip or mini case study. Always close with one breath and a grounding gesture, hand to heart. Protocol 6. Structural boundaries, seal the leaks. Purpose. Align calendar and offers with regulation, not adrenaline. Office hours for money tasks. Set 2 fixed windows weekly for invoicing, billing review, and collections. Ritualize with the same tea, same music, same seat. Ritual equals familiarity equals safe. Offer tiers with clean edges. Name scope, price, and timeline clearly. When scope creep arises, script, happy to include that at fee, or save it for a future phase. Delay policy, late payment pauses delivery after X days. Automate reminders at days 3, 7, 14, kind, brief, consistent. Protocol 7, the spending pause, from anesthesia to alignment. Purpose. Interrupt numbing purchases and cultivate supportive spending. When the urge hits, ask, is this supportive or is this anesthesia? If anesthesia, set a 24-hour pause. During the pause, do 3 minutes of 4 to 6 breathing, a hot shower, or a 10-minute walk. If still desired after 24 hours and funds allow, buy consciously and enjoy slowly. Protocol 8, the micro-yes ledger, evidence of capacity, purpose. Build a feedback loop of safety proofs your subconscious can't ignore. Keep a simple note on your phone titled, Receiving Proof. Log micro-yes moments daily, held compliment threes, sent invoice calmly, kept $100 untouched, said no without explaining. Review every Sunday. Notice trends, less rush, more rhythm. Protocol 9, social belonging upgrade, witnesses, not judges, purpose. Make abundance safe by restoring belonging in growth. Identify 2 people who celebrate your expansion without shrinking you. Share 1 weekly update, money, visibility, boundary, and receive acknowledgement. If shame spikes, exhale longer and say, "It's safe to be seen growing." Protocol 10, the week of gentle plenty, set point reset. Purpose. Introduce calm plenty as your nervous system's new soundtrack. For 7 days, eat 1 meal slowly each day, tasting fully. Leave 10% margin on your calendar. White space is wealth training. Sit with an extra 5 minutes after finishing a task, letting done register. Once, give generously in a way that feels warm, not depleting, then receive the afterglow without moving on fast. Mini scripts for hard moments negotiation. To deliver this at quality, my fee is amount. If needed, we can reduce scope to fit your budget. Boundary. I'm not available for that timeline. Here are the options that do work. Late payment, friendly reminder, payment was due, date. Work pauses after policy day, until it's received. Declining misaligned work, thank you for thinking of me. This isn't a fit, and I want you to have a great result. Here are 2 referrals. Receiving praise, thank you. I'm letting that land. Troubleshooting, when the old rejection returns spike of urgency before or after receiving. Do 90 seconds of 4 to 6 breathing, widen peripheral vision, label 3 sensations. Then choose 1 micro-action of holding, don't spend, don't overgive, don't apologize. Shame after raising prices? Place a palm over your heart, say, price protects the work and the client. Log it in the micro-yes ledger. Fear of being seen? Post 1 sentence. Close with a breath and hand to heart. Repeat tomorrow. Integration map, 30 days, days 1 to 7. Receiving recalibration plus safe number plus complement hold. Days 8 to 14. Add Invoice Calm plus visibility micro posts plus spending pause. Days 15 to 21. Add structural boundaries, policy templates, plus belonging upgrade. Days 22 to 30. Week of gentle plenty plus review ledger. Increase safe number by 10 to 20%. Key reframes to echo, my system doesn't reject abundance, it rejects unsafety. Consent, then capacity, rhythm, then results. A little more, safely. Train the climate, not just the outcome. Safety is the richest strategy. Your body now has a map for receiving without bracing, holding without dumping, and being seen without shrinking. In the next part, step into the future self who lives in this climate. Walk their morning, their choices, their conversations, and let your nervous system preview the ease it is training to inhabit. This is how the secret becomes your normal. Not through force, but through familiarity with a life that no longer rejects what it asked for. Ready for part 4, the vision of the future self, with cinematic, sensory detail and decision points that encode this identity. Part 4, the vision of the future self, a day that doesn't reject what it asked for. Morning light, the room is soft and warm, not bright enough to startle. Electric blue dawn edges the curtains, a line of gold along the windowsill, like the world is breathing with you. Before the phone, before the list, your palms find one another at your chest. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. The air feels slightly warm as it passes your lips. Your jaw is unlatched, your shoulders down. Nothing to perform. Nothing to chase. The thermostat of your life is set to calm plenty. You pour water into a ceramic mug, the sound is steady and round. The cup sits warm in your hands, golden heat pooling in your belly as if the drink could glow. You check your accounts without flinching. Numbers present themselves like clouds, shape-shifting, real, unthreatening. You don't count 10 moves ahead. You don't pretend not to care. You care with steadiness. Information, not an emergency. Breath in. Breath out. You feel the body receiving the morning before any notification asks for you. The door opens, your inbox holds a message from the client who once rushed your breath merely by existing in your orbit. The subject line, "We're ready to move forward at your rate." Your heart does not sprint. Your nervous system doesn't reach for old armor. You feel a subtle widening of the chest, as if a window has cracked to let in cool air. You reread your own boundary from last week: scope, fee, timeline. Your body remembers how it felt to send it. There is no victory spike, just a grounded, of course. Inhale 4. Exhale 6. You reply without apology: wonderful. To begin next Monday, I'll send the agreement and the first invoice today. Send. Stand. Shake your hands gently. Hand to sternum, the familiar closure of the Invoice Calm. Your mind does not invent 3 extra deliverables to earn safety. Safety is already present. Being seen at noon, you post a small case study. 3 sentences, warm, specific. You share one learning you are proud of. No dramatic preamble. No self-censorship. Your finger hovers for the old check: is it safe to be seen? And your body answers not with a squeeze, but with a heavier, nourishing breath. You click. A few people respond with gratitude. You don't sprint to those comments to deflect or overgive. You rest your phone on the table and take a slow sip of water. The sunlight on the wood looks like liquid gold. You smile. You let it land. The meeting afternoon brings a negotiation. The room is air-conditioned, pleasantly cool. You notice the hum of the vent like ocean static. They ask for a faster timeline with more scope. Your eyes soften, not harden. To deliver at quality, the fee is amount, or we can reduce scope to match your budget. Your voice is low and even. Silence follows, spacious, not threatening. You allow it. The other person shifts, considers, nods. Let's keep the scope and honor the fee. You feel a subtle looseness at the base of your skull. There is nothing to earn. There is only alignment to hold. Unplanned money, an unexpected deposit arrives, a refund you forgot about. The number has weight, like a smooth stone in the palm. Once, you would have rushed to move it, to discharge the sensation of more. Today you open the safe number account and place the funds there. Not all, not none, a portion that raises your neutral by 15%. It is safe to hold this. The phrase isn't a spell, it's a mirror of what your body now experiences. You don't need to numb the hum of abundance. You let it hum like a well-tuned engine. A kind word on your way out, a colleague stops you. You've changed your presence. It's quieter, but more compelling. Whatever you're doing, it's working. The old reflex to trade the compliment for a joke flickers, then fades. You pause one soft beat, inhale. Thank you. I'm letting that land. Their eyes warm as if they've just been allowed to gift you something you actually kept. You walk to the door feeling the compliment as weight, not freight, as warmth inside the ribcage, not a debt to be repaid. The store at the market, you hold 2 items. One you used to buy to signal wealth to yourself. It always arrived with a hangover of, why did I do that? The other is simple, nourishing, exact. You listen for micro-consent. The first item feels like a slight forward lean, urgency in disguise. The second lands as a widening in the back of your ribs. You choose the second. You leave without the faint adrenaline hit that once felt like relief. The relief now is breath, not purchase. Family, a loved one hints that your new boundaries are inconvenient. You feel the familiar tug toward fixing, smoothing, shrinking. Instead, your next exhale lengthens. You say, I love you. I'm keeping this boundary because it protects my energy and our relationship. Your voice is not an argument. It's a steady line across water. They sigh, okay. Maybe they're disappointed. Maybe they respect you more. Either way, your nervous system holds. Belonging is no longer rented by abandoning yourself. Evening, you do not overfill the night. There is elegant margin. You skim your micro-yes ledger. Today's entries: held compliment for 4s. Raised safe number 15%. Negotiated calmly. Chose supportive spend. You do not make a cathedral out of small bricks. The cathedral emerges because you lay them daily. You sense the old life from here, how it tasted in your mouth, tinny and rushed. You feel a gentle grief, like packing a sweater that no longer fits but kept you warm once. You whisper, "Thank you for protecting me. We can do more now." Sleep in bed, you place a hand over your heart, one over your belly. The room is dark in a friendly way, black with a hint of blue, like a sky with endless room. You rehearse tomorrow's calm plenty, sending, holding, being seen, staying sovereign. Your brain gives you a gift, a brief, bright picture of your future self making a decision that would have terrified you and now looks like a simple nod. You fall asleep inside that nod. The house keeps its warmth overnight. The thermostat holds. The new normal weeks compress into a new texture of time. Cash flow smooths. Not because money is a mood, but because your systems are. Invoicing on rhythm, offers with edges, late policies that walk themselves. Visibility grows like spring light, longer each day without fanfare. You stop auditioning. You start selecting. Rejections that used to send you into a spiral now feel like a merciful gate, redirecting your feet toward timing that respects your capacity. The biggest change is quiet and absolute. Abundance no longer argues with your identity. Receiving is not an interruption. It is your breath at rest. Holding is not a test. It is your presence with yourself. Being seen is not a courtroom. It is a room with windows. The guard at the gate didn't vanish. They learned your new criteria and now say, "Yes, we can handle this," and wave good things in. This is the life your body can believe in. And because your body believes, reality begins to echo it back with startling precision. The secret was never a hack. It was a thermostat. And now that the temperature is set, the whole house is livable. We are ready to seal this in the nervous system with a rite of passage. Simple, embodied commitments that shift this vision from preview to program. In the final part, you will choose your vows to abundant safety, cross a threshold with a hidden voice as witness, and anchor the new climate with a declarative act. The world will meet you at the level you can calmly hold. Let's make that level your normal. Part 5. The Commitment and the Climax. Crossing the threshold. There is a moment when a practice becomes a path and a path becomes a place you live. This is that moment. They hid this from you. Abundance is not a finish line. It is a climate your body learns to inhabit. It is not rushed. It is regulated. It is not performed. It is permitted. Your subconscious has been secretly rejecting abundance for years to protect you. Today, you return that devotion with leadership. You teach it calmly. We can hold more now. A rite of passage. Stand, if that is available, or sit with your spine supported and your feet grounded. Let the room be dark with a hint of blue, the air slightly warm. Place your left hand over your heart, your right hand over your lower belly. This gesture says to the guard at the gate, "You're not alone in this." Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Again. One more time. Repeat slowly, in your own voice, with breath between phrases. I consent to receive more in safety. I can hold what I ask for. It is safe to be seen as I grow. Price protects the work and the client. A little more, safely, every day. I train the climate, not just the outcome. My system does not reject abundance, it rejects unsafety. I am making abundance safe. Pause after each line. Notice one small physical yes, the shoulder that drops, the breath that lengthens, the eyes that soften. If a no appears, honor it. Whisper, "Thank you for protecting me. We'll go at your pace." This is not performance. This is protocol. Consent before capacity. Rhythm before results. The closing image. Imagine your future self standing at a door you used to push. The door is no longer stuck. You aren't forcing it. The house is warm. The hallway smells like cedar and citrus. A blue-gold light lives in the corners. On the table is a ledger with simple entries. Sent invoice, calm. Held compliment, landed. Increased safe number, steady. Chose supportive spend, aligned. Posted one sentence, seen. Kept boundary, kind and clear. You touch the ledger. The paper is textured, slightly rough, solid. You feel the weight of the pen. Your nervous system recognizes this place as home. Not because you told it so, but because you showed it, daily, gently, precisely. The guard at the gate nods you through and says, "Welcome back." The final challenge. This is the climax not of effort, but of permission. Keep the breath. Keep the pace. Keep the protocols. Let the world find you at the temperature you can calmly hold. And when you notice the old rejection signal flicker, you won't panic, you'll practice. One breath. One boundary. One tiny hold. And the climate will remain. Anchor your threshold if you are ready to end the hidden rejection and live in a climate that keeps what you call in. Write this in the comments as a public vow. I consent to receive more in safety. I can hold what I ask for. If your body agrees, add one micro commitment for the next 24 hours, like, today, I will send one invoice calmly. Today, I will hold $100 without moving it. Today, I will accept one compliment and let it land. Let your words be your first deposit into the new climate.